Hey, this is Jordan from Jersey, and this is what I thought of the comics I read the week of February 24th, 2010. And there's a ton of comics this week, so let's get right to it. First up, we have Viking, issue 5, which, as the cover tells you, is the season finale, so presumably they'll be back for more. Decent ending to a decent series. Really, though, if you're picking up this series, it is for the art. It is for the awesome presentation, uh, Golden Age size comic, beautiful covers and back covers, glossy and flat elements on the covers. They're thick covers, and just awesome art that's inside. Goes back and forth between a painted style, a sketch style, things in between, which actually can make it somewhat hard to follow at points just because characters will look different from panel to panel because of different art styles. But if you can get past that, I think it's worth your time and definitely worth a look because almost any page could be framed. It's that good. Also in a Golden Age format, and also from Image Comics, we have Cowboy Ninja Viking, issue 4. This has been upgraded to an ongoing series now, and I'm definitely going to stick with it. I've said in the past that, hey, the dialogue's hilarious, continues to be hilarious here. I've also said that the series is borderline incomprehensible, narratively, just because it's really hard to figure out what's going on. I read this issue, still felt that way kind of, so I reread the first 3 issues, and you know what? I think it actually makes more sense than I gave it credit for. I think part of it is that it is slightly confusing, and it comes out every other month, so I've just forgotten what was going on. But I think this is a series that will actually read quite well in trade. This one continues to be hilarious. The character Gary, who is not a triplet but thinks he is, he thinks... Well, I won't tell you what he thinks he is, because that should be something you should find out for yourself. But he has one of my favorite quotes this week, which is, Shalom, konnichiwa, bzz. And I'll leave it at that. And I know I had 2 Deadpool books last week, but Deadpool 20 came out this week, and I have Hitmonkey, the one-shot origin story, and you might notice from the covers that he's on both of them. First off, this came out like 2 weeks ago. I don't know why they put it out before Deadpool 19, which introduced the character, because unless you looked at the cover and said, oh, that's something I really want to buy, which I wouldn't put it past you. I mean, it's a monkey with guns. That's kind of cool. But if you didn't know the character, and you're reading Deadpool, you should put this out the week after. Anyway, it's a fun enough origin story. It kind of makes sense, I guess, and it wasn't particularly funny, though. Like, I was thinking from Deadpool, hey, this will be a funny book. Not really. But it was decent. Deadpool 20 actually was very good. Last issue, Deadpool 19, I said I wasn't big on it until the end when it really picked up, and this issue just kept going on that high and didn't let up the whole issue. So very good, very funny issue of Deadpool this week. Then we had Spider-Man Clone Saga, issue 6 of 6. I really like this cover. It's just kind of a weird, different art style. I mean, the Scarlet Spider-Man, that looks really neat. So, yeah, just kind of dynamic. Lots of diagonals. Good stuff. The actual issue, it was a pretty solid ending, actually. I don't exactly remember how the original Clone Saga ended. I mean, I know what characters were involved, but, it took so long to... Whatever. This was a decent enough ending. If you have any interest in the series, pick it up. It'll be worth it, especially in trade, for 10 or 12 bucks or whatever. Otherwise, if you had no interest in it, there's nothing in this series that makes me go, oh, you really should read this. It's a decent enough retelling of an old story that a lot of people hate. And this one is not hateable, it's just not great either. So, if you want to check it out, check it out. Otherwise, it's probably not really for anybody else. Then we have Realm of Kings in Humans, issue 4 of 5. This issue focuses on the fallout after you find out that this guy, Maximus, he kind of went crazy again. Not exactly surprising, considering his name is Maximus the Mad. What is really surprising is the last page of this book and the reveal that happens. I did not see it coming. I'm very interested to see where it goes because, that came out of the blue. And it was a decent series, decent issue, I should say, altogether. A bit wild goose chase-ish in just the sense that they're chasing one character the entire issue. I could have done without that, or maybe varied it up some. I mean, there's other stuff in there, but I'm waiting to see the end of this and what's coming next after Realm of Kings, because Realm of Kings has been pretty decent so far. Let's stay in space for a minute and go to Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game, Mazer in Prison, a one-shot. If you have read Ender's Game, this is a good one to check out. If you haven't, it doesn't spoil the ending. It spoils like the penultimate reveals. Very good. I've never read the short story before. I don't know if this was an original one just done just for the comic, or if it was published in prose format somewhere else. But I thought it was awesome. I didn't know anything really about the character Mazer aside from what it said in Ender's Game, the book, and Ender's Game, the comic, and I was thoroughly interested. So it's a pretty good standalone story. Next up, we have Secret Warriors, issue 13, and let's just say that this issue was very unlucky for one of the Secret Warriors. This continues to be one of my favorite series from month to month. Nick Fury is an awesome character. I'm really interested to learn about Hydra and Leviathan. Before this, I knew almost nothing about S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I knew who Nick Fury was, Dum Dum Dugan and all that, but I didn't care. Certainly didn't care about Hydra. Hail Hydra, it's just dumb. It's, aside from Bob, Agent of Hydra from Deadpool, who cares? Well, I do now, because Secret Warriors is a great book that has fleshed out those backstories in an interesting way, made them really interesting characters. Baron Stucker punches someone's heads off this issue. Do you understand me? He punched someone's head off. That's awesome. And I know I've been overusing the word awesome recently, but if you're not in awe of that, something's wrong, because that was crazy. If I had one complaint with this series, it's just that I don't know timeline-wise how it matches up to Siege. Before, after, during. I mean, it can't be during, because we know a lot of the characters are there during Siege, but a little help, Marvel? I mean, it doesn't kill the story in any way, but I would like to know. And we'll close out this episode with our 2 Siege tie-ins of the week. Thunderbolts 141 and Avengers The Initiative issue 33. Thunderbolts 141. Ant-Man's on the cover, my favorite character of the book, and he actually has a pretty large, pun not really intended, but kind of, role to play in this issue as the Thunderbolts enter Asgard to get Odin's spear and steal that out of the armor and get that back to Norman Osborn. And it does not look like it's going to end well for the team, just based on the ending. And since I know that, once Siege is over, let's just face facts. The good guys are going to win, and these Thunderbolts, as we know them, are going away. I think a couple of the characters come back in the new Thunderbolts. I've seen just solicits. I'm interested. Ant-Man's not in there. Where's he going? He's the character I'm following. Hopefully he doesn't die, although that would give me like a complete run of every issue he's ever been in, I think. But come on, I am interested. I mean, this is one issue, this is one book where pretty much any of these characters, minus I think like 2 crossover, minus those guys, almost any of these people could die. So the stakes are pretty high for them. Avengers The Initiative is a very similar thing. The series is ending. I think a version of it comes back after Siege, but it's not going to be exactly the same. Any of these characters, and this has been the same from the beginning of the book, any character can die. Any character can die. And they often do. And you care about these characters that who even knew about them before. Johnny Guitar and characters like that. By the end of these issues, you care about them. I am very happy to see that they gave Scarlet Spider a 4th robot arm, because when it was just 3, that was very strange. I never understood why they did that, and I think the costume is actually pretty cool. I got my Civil War 3 variant up there. It's one of my favorite covers ever, but still, the 3 arms was very weird choice, so I'm glad it's 4. This series is moving at a cheetah's pace. I mean, they are going towards an end game. A lot of these characters are not going to be around, I don't think, after Siege, and it is really cool to read a series that moves this fast, has this big of stakes, and is written this well. So that's it for the comics I read the week of February 24th, 2010. Have a good week. I'll see you a couple days with my Lost reviews, and then with next week's comics. I know I missed the most recent issue of Amazing Spider-Man. Either my shop didn't get it in, or I didn't see it. Lock and Key I'm still waiting on. They had a special order it for me, but I'll get to those issues once I get a hold of them, and